While our deconstructed caprese salad is cooking off on the barbecue, we're going to work on our main dish, and that's the tilapia fillets. We're going to do them in a parchment paper envelope, and I want to show you some of the items that we're going to be using in there today. I'm going to be using a yellow pepper. This is more for color than anything else. Some lemon zest and juice, some carrot, and some snow peas. So I want to show you how I prep these. Snow peas are really easy. All you really want to do is just make sure that you take off the vein. That's not nasty eating. It's like flossing your teeth if you ever had one in a stir fry that they didn't prepare first by taking the string off. And then all I'm going to do with that is I'm just going to take my cleaver and I'm just going to cut them on a julienne. And you know, we should talk about proper knife technique too. When you're cutting anything, you should always use a really good heavy base knife. Always make sure the tip of the knife is on the counter, on your cutting board. Keep your fingers under and use your thumb to press the product towards the cutting blade. And then it's just a rocking motion and the tip of your knife never leaves the cutting surface. So let me show you how I'm going to prep the carrot and I'm going to prep the yellow pepper. This vegetable is obviously round, so anytime you're cutting vegetables, you really want to get a flat surface on the vegetable before you start. So it's just a safety procedure. So just take a little wedge off, and that'll make the carrot stay flat. So again, with the tip of my knife on the counter, I'm just going to do some diagonal cuts across the carrot, about 1/4 of an inch or maybe 1/8 of an inch thick here. Nice long. You see how my fingers are tucked under, and my thumb is pressing the carrot towards the cutting blade? So here I have some nice long slivers of carrot, and then all you really want to do is using the same technique. You can do, well, let's do one, considering, you know, you might be a novice out there. So tip of the knife on the counter, fingers tucked under, and I'm going to use my thumb to work the product to the cutting board. And that's a julienne of carrot. And you know, you can do it thinner if you want. Say you're doing a stir fry, it cooks really fast, so just do it thinner. And the great thing is you can actually look over your knife and you can see how thin you're making them. There we go. So there's some different cuts. Okay, then what you want to do is you can do 2 or 3 at a time once you get really good at it. And in order to make this menu successful, you have to have all of your stuff done all at once. So make sure that all of your vegetables are prepped, your fish is all prepped, and then you can start beginning to make your packets right away, because the cooking time is only 15 to 20 minutes, so you really need to have everything at the ready, which is called mise en place. So there we go. That's enough carrot. And then let me show you how I'm going to do the yellow pepper. With the yellow pepper, I just cut down on all the sides like this, and then I leave the seed pocket inside. And again, just when you're cutting a pepper, they've got the skin side, which is very slippery with your knife. So when you're cutting a yellow pepper, any kind of pepper, always cut it with the flesh side. So it just saves any slip of the knife. And then I like to get rid of this little veiny part here. And this is the great thing about cooking outside, so you can leave some for Mother Nature. And so how hard, that was pretty quick. So rocking motion, and there we go, and there's my mise en place all ready to go. And my lemon zest, all I'm going to do is just zest it. If you have one of those old-fashioned zesters where you pull it down, that's perfect. I like my zest a little finer, so I went out and bought one of these. They're a rasp, and you can find them in any really good kitchen store, and you're just going to go like this, and you'll get the lemon zest like that, and I'm just going to tap it into the parchment paper once I assemble all of my ingredients inside. So because I want to have this tilapia entree, a little bit of Mediterranean flavor, I'm going to also put some capers into it. This is a pickled caperberry, very indigenous to the Mediterranean diet. They grow wild all over bushes on the sides of rocks and that in the Mediterranean. And I'm going to use tilapia. Tilapia is a beautiful firm white fish, but it's nice and thin. So if you're not used to cooking with a fish, it's a great Fish 101 selection to use. So this is the tilapia, and what I've done is I've just put it in some paper toweling just to dry it off a little bit. But you can see how beautiful this fish is. It's nice and thin. It's going to have an even cooking temperature, and you can do one or two. I like to do two because it is an entree. So I'm just going to take the paper towel off of them, and then we're going to get started making the tilapia bundles. By the time we finish assembling these, our caprese salad will be ready to enjoy. So there we go. I'm going to take that off to the side. And again, just to make it a little easier, I'm going to remove my board so you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to put a little bit of white wine in this just to make it a little more moist. And I'm going to use some orzo because I want to make it a complete meal. So here's some orzo. And all it is just, it looks kind of like a really pregnant rice, but it's actually a pasta. And you cook it like pasta. Boiling salted water, you put it in. And then I just rinse it under cold water in a strainer to get it off. So I'm going to use that as my base. Because it's a complete meal, I need a starch. So here's my starch. And I'm going to make 4 of these, so I'm just going to divide this into 4. And again, I think I'm going to put something down here just to hold it in place. And then my beautiful tilapia fillets go on top. Now, you see here, there is a little thinner part and then there's a thicker part. So put the thicker part to the outside and the thinner parts to the inside, and then that'll double up there. And then a few of my yellow peppers. Don't overdo it. Few of my, you see the beautiful colors here. Some of my julienne of carrot. Then I'm going to use my lemon zest over the top of that, just a little bit. And if you want to, you can even cut some of the lemon up and put a little squeeze of lemon on. Why not? And then some of my beautiful capers. And what I'm going to do is I'll just use the end of my tilapia spoon. You don't want the caperberry juice because it's pickly. You just want the berries themselves. And I'm a real aficionado of caperberry, so I always think more is better, but to your liking. And then a little bit of white wine. And I'm just going to, about an ounce, just a sprinkling. And even if you wanted to, you could put in some of my herbed oil as well, because why not? It's all going to stay inside the package, so maybe just a little bit of that just to dress it up would be fabulous. Perfect. Okay, and now the rolling technique is the exact same rolling technique that we used for the caprese salad. So again, try to make it as even as possible. Fold it over, underneath, and there you go. There's your first tilapia and parchment paper ready to go on the grill. Okay, so let's see how our caprese salad's doing. Oh, that looks really good. Okay, so just on medium heat, I'm going to take them off onto the plate. Watch, it's hot. Oh, look at all that beautiful juices coming out. And we're going to open up one later. And what I want to do now is I want to put on my tilapia fillets. Same temperature. Just be careful. Don't touch the pan. And that's good for 20 minutes. Okay, so let's see how our caprese salad turned out. I'm sure it smells delicious. I just wanted to let you know this is our crostini, and all it is just some really good crusty bread. And we used again our old friend, the herbed vegetable oil, or the olive oil, brushed it on both sides and just grilled it on the barbecue. And we did that before we started the cooking segment today. So let's get one of these beautiful, oh, let's get a nice big fat one there, because like why not? So like really, it's just rip it open. Oh, look at all that melted cheese. Oh my God, that's good. And I mean, you know, forget about the silverware. Just get in there with your bread. Make sure it's nice and crispy, and just really, oh God, look at the way that, oh my God. Ooh.